Saturday Fun Day with Connie. Today, my guest star is the amazing Krystal with KrystalTheYarnyChicken&CrazyCatLady. How are you doing today, Krystal?
I'm pretty good. Hi, everyone.
I see we have Roberta here. Hi, Roberta. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? So, I'm going to start off with a few jokes today. They're cat jokes today. So, why do cats always get their way? They are very persuasive. The next joke I have for y'all is, what should you say to your cat when you leave the house? Have a nice day. And the last one I have for y'all is, what's a cat's favorite subject in school? History. And that had to have been Allie's favorite subject. She loves to hiss. And speaking of Allie, last night we and Frank were laying down in bed, and all of a sudden, I don't know where Allie came from. All of a sudden, I just see something flying on the bed, and it was Allie. She jumped on Frank, claimed Frank. But the bad thing is, she started bugging him, and he couldn't really sleep. So Allie ended up kicking him out of the bed. He went in the living room and sat in the chair in the living room.
Oh my!
I know they do that to him sometimes. It's usually Sophie that does it more, and I feel so bad. Let's see. We have Jody and Krystal that joined us, and Gail. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? And let's see. Roberta's working on an owl today. And you know what, Roberta? Ever since you changed your name to Not Magic, I keep wanting to call you Regina for some reason. Jody says working on a turtle pillow.
Aw.
Roberta says I would have said have a perfect day. Ooh, Jody says that she made the rain shawl from your pattern. Turned out so pretty.
Send me a picture and I'll share it. I want to see it too. I'm excited.
Yeah, Krystal makes some beautiful patterns. She has some beautiful shawl ones. I tested one of her shawl ones a long time ago.
The
And
striped wings granny shawl.
and then she makes beautiful amigurumis, or I guess I should say cute amigurumis. Amigurumis more cute than beautiful.
Yeah.
Roberta says the things we'll do for our pets. Yep. And you know what's funny? Allie's mostly been hiding like the last 3 days or so. We've hardly seen her. She basically just comes out to eat. And Sophie's been such a love bug lately. She's got her a box that she's claiming. And like the other day, her head was hanging off one side of the box, and then her legs were off the other side. It wasn't a real big box. And then she scratches on it. She's destroying the box.
Oh.
But she's having a good time. Let's see, we have Wanda that joined us and Stephanie. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? Wanda says she's late to the party. No, you're pretty much right on time, and when it comes to lives, people come and go at all times. So there's really no such thing as being late. um she's making a store stitch dishcloth. Awesome. Roberta says it's a witchy vibe of not magic. Crystal's doing good. Crystal's crochet cubbyhole, that is. She's super excited. She just needs 27 more subscribers to be at 500. Oh, congrats. So if y'all don't have Krystal's Crochet Cubbyhole, go check her out. She's amazing. And she's working on her music mosaic blanket. Awesome. And Krystal says cats are so cute with boxes. Yeah, they love their boxes. So, Krystal, you want to go ahead and show everybody what you're working on?
Yeah, let me push my stitches back. All right, so this pattern is Pink Rain by Expression Fiber Arts. Well, I mean, you use the yarn from Expression Fiber Arts, but the pattern is by a different designer. It's not Shandy or Shandi, however you say her name. But this is the Pink Rain. I don't know how well this is gonna. I hope I don't lose any stitches. Pull it back a little bit. All right, so this is not upside down, but so this is what the edging will look like.
I love that edging.
It's very easy. You knit 4 very, very loosely so it can stretch when you block it. And then you do a yarn over on a purl row, and then on the knit row, you knit, yarn over, knit on that yarn over. And that's what creates that little edging like that. But
It's cool.
It's a very easy pattern until you get to the lace section. That's where I messed up last time, because this is my second time trying to work on it. I ripped it out completely and started over. It's easy up until you get to the lace section. Now, I don't know if it was me or the pattern, but stuff got offset. I'm hoping that now that I know I can do a lifeline, hopefully if I do mess up, I can go back and fix it. So.
Yeah, even in the shawl that I'm currently working on, I'm gonna go ahead and restart it. I'm not that full on it, but I've been kind of messing up on it, and I don't trust how it's doing. And even though this one isn't like one that you use #1 weighted yarn, but it still has lacy, and it's kind of different where the rows aren't like your typical, like it's not like your typical row on a knit pattern, how it kind of repeats itself or has a standard format. But I think I'm gonna have to use lifelines on it. So some of y'all may have seen this on my last live. Let me turn my green screen off. Where is it? Okay. Okay. So this is the gnome that I had been designing.
Aww.
Alien! She's an alien girl. And yesterday I finished the alien amigurumi that I've been working on. Hello, everybody. I need to get him sturdier. But he is finished. But yeah, I'm going to have to like stuff him or stick some sticks or something in him because he's a little wobbly. And the Haruni shawl is finished, which I still have to block it. But it is off the needle. And I'm going to have to like get a bunch of pins because the way the edging is on it, I'm going to have to, I don't know if y'all can really see the edging. Let's see. But it's like you have like this one. How it goes like this. I'm going to need to tack it down on each one. And that's not counting the shawl itself. But that's what I have been up to. And let me get my green screen back on. Okay. And let's see, we have Donna that joined us, and Mom Tammy, Krystal's mom. And I think that's everybody. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? Gail says she's knitting a sweater and crocheting another pet bed. I think those pet beds are so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I would make my cats one if I thought they would actually use it. Because cats are funny with that. Like you go and you spend all this money for stuff for like cat toys or cat stands and stuff, and they won't touch some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You get like a simple box, they're in love.
I have an example. I bought a cat toy that had catnip in it. Oreo loved it. Tom never played with it one bit.
But yeah, a lot of times those like cat towers, they will not touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Mom says she's listening, not feeling too good, so I am here but not chatting. Aw, I hope you feel better, Mom.
Me too.
Roberta says, I went to check out the music mosaic. That's going to be so pretty. Oh, one thing I was meaning to mention to y'all, some of y'all may not know this, but those of y'all with channels, if you type the word drop in the chat, it will automatically drop the channel link.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't do it after like a minute or two, then type it again. Every now and then it glitches.
Well, what I think it is, like if there's multiple people that type it at the same time and it can only register one at a time. Wait like 5 seconds in between, I think.
That's what I think too. Thank y'all. And let's see. Roberta says someone mentioned in a group somewhere to use small pool noodles to prevent the wobble. I'm gonna have to try something like that. And we also have Nancy that joined us, and Joanne Dolan, and Lisa the Grammy. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on?
That's weird. Lisa says YouTube doesn't even say that you're live right now.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And it like I know before I went live, I saw it like on my page showing like I was going live. But I like when it comes to notifications with YouTube, I trust them as far as I can throw them. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, can one of my moderators drop Krystal's link? I also have her channel link in the description box of today's live and also pinned to the top of the chat. So if anyone doesn't have Krystal, go check her out. Like I said at the beginning, Krystal is amazing. My YouTube bestie.
Well, thank you.
Let's see. Roberta says, I made couches for ours. The whole time I was saying, if they don't use it, I'm going to be mad. They fight over who gets to sleep in it. Well, that's awesome that they're using it.
Yeah.
Oh, Mom says she ate cereal and the milk messed up her stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frank has a sensitive tummy too. Let's see. Ooh, Mom says I started a new crochet shirt tunic. Awesome. And we also have Sally and Mimi Cat here. How are y'all? And what are y'all working on? Okay. Roberta says she got the alert from my live. I don't know. Like I said, YouTube with notifications. Because that's like with comments. I get them for some comments. I don't get them for other comments.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Oh, Roberta has a cereal joke. Go ahead, Roberta. And we also have Kivia that joined us. Hi, Kivia. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And oh, Mimi Cat is working on baby sweater set. Awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, so I have some questions that I'm going to be asking, and these are questions that everybody can answer. Some of them I got from that never have I ever tag thing. So have you ever crocheted in public? And let us know like where you've crocheted at in public if you have. So how about you, Crystal?
The closest I ever got to crocheting in public, I was sitting in the car waiting for one of my grandmother's friends at a doctor's appointment. And I crocheted in the car.
Yeah, that's usually where I crochet whenever I crochet in public. Doctor's appointments. I have done it before, like whenever I get to church and before
Mm-hmm.
like church starts, I'll work on like my crochet or knitting. But I think that's pretty much the public places that I've done it. Let's see. Yeah, and sometimes that works too if you turn that like what Lisa just did. You turn the bell off and back on, and then it shows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have Cindy here. Hi, Cindy. How are y'all doing today? I'm sorry. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? Mimi Cat says yes at our local park with friends. Roberta says yes. Public crochet, core crochet. Well, I think she said she don't like core crochet. Beach crochet. And Jody says I have never crocheted in public. Nancy says I crochet in core, doctor's appointments, hospital, and bus stop. And Mimi Cat says, and we do knit in public every year. Tammy says, Mom, I crochet in the core, but don't like to take my yarn in anywhere and risk getting germs.
Yeah.
Since a lot of y'all are mentioning the crocheting in cores, that was actually my next question. So have you ever crocheted or knitted in a core, Crystal?
Yes.
The only time I have is like when at the doctor's office whenever they see you at the core. Um,
Oh,
I've never done it like when a core is moving though.
I have. On our last trip to Louisiana, no, it was the trip before that. Um, I was working on granny squares, and um, so I kind of crocheted on that on the way.
Yeah. Now as a teenager, I did cross stitch in a moving vehicle, but I've never done crochet or knit. I don't think while the vehicle's moving. Let's see. We have Sue and Gloria that joined us. How are y'all doing, and what are y'all working on? Donna says the doctor's office had crocheted, crocheted in the course, waiting for someone to get out of the store. I crocheted in the park. And let's see. Cindy says I just crochet at home. And really, for the most part, most of the time when I crochet, it's usually in the living room chair. I like to be comfortable whenever I crochet and knit.
Mm-hmm.
Sally says doctor's office, core, hospitals. Gloria says I crochet everywhere I go. That reminds me of the Full House theme song. Everywhere you go. Lisa says I always crochet in the waiting room at the doctor and before the pandemic when we used to go to a game store for group gaming, I would sit and crochet. Lisa says I always crochet in my vehicle if I'm not driving.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Roberta says I finished a blanket on the way to Gettysburg, then left it out to finish in the hotel, and the maid bought it the next day. Ooh, awesome.
Oh, wow.
Sally says it's hard when you hit a pothole. Ouch. And Donna says I'm drinking ice water and sitting on the bed with cupcake, going to pick up my Tunisian crochet and store it on it. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay. So the next question is, have you ever crocheted outside?
Yes, I have. I have a lawn chair and a umbrella, and I would let the chickens out and sit there and crochet while I'm watching them.
See, other than like, waiting in the vehicle at the doctor's office,
Mm-hmm.
I've never been like outside crocheting
Yeah.
or knitting. Donna says, "Yep, I've crocheted in a park watching my grandkids and my kids when they were younger." Awesome. Lisa says, "I was crocheting a lot in my truck, a lot, while my spouse was fishing at the river." And Mom says, "Yes, I have crocheted outside." Yeah, Mama, and Crystal probably all sit outside crocheting together. I could
Uh,
see.
not outside, really. If we're outside, we're usually doing like garden work, but we have sat all in the living room before and crocheted or knitted or.
And let's see. Gloria says, "Yes, I have on the porch." Lisa says, "Yes, I have crocheted in my backyard when it's nice out." Sally says, "I crochet on my front porch all the time." And Roberta says, "Knitting in public and outside is harder than crochet. Crochet is easier to pick up and put down." Yeah, knitting is, and especially like if you have like a repeat or something, and you're just kind of like, okay, I need to get to where, the end of the repeat before I put it down.
Yep. Or it's with me, finish the row first, then put it down.
Yeah. Because that way it's like I got, I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
If I finish the repeat, then I know, okay, I got to, begin at the repeat when I pick it back up. But like sometimes, like at a doctor's office, it's like, hold up. Let me finish these last few stitches. Donna says, "I also go outside and sit with Cupcake when it's beautiful weather and crochet. I am comfortable with my ice water and Cupcake beside me." Aw, I totally agree, Mom. She says it's way too hot to go
Yep.
outside for even 5 minutes here.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm ready for fall. And we haven't even actually hit summer yet.
Exactly. Ugh.
Okay. So have y'all spent hours looking at patterns? And I'm pretty sure we all have.
Yes, I have for sure.
What do you think's the longest you've looked at patterns for?
At least an hour and a half for me, because when I'm trying to find a knit pattern, I'll look and see if it has just a chart or if it has written instructions. And sometimes if the pattern that I want to do only has a chart, I can't do charts yet. I can only read the actual written pattern. I haven't tried to go by a chart yet. So if it's a pattern that I download that only has a chart, then I have to go find something else because I can't do it. So it takes a little longer to find one. That's the thing about knitting, is most of them go by charts instead of written
I
instructions.
know.
Crochet patterns, most of it is written. So
I know, and I keep saying I need to find a pattern and just jump in and learn how to read that chart.
well, I mean, I can read it, but I'm not sure exactly how to do the repeats. And I can kind of understand that, there's like a little square with a section in it. But do you start from left to right? And then when you get to the next row, it's right to left, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
How exactly do you read it? So
I think it's left right.
left, right, yeah, okay,
But like what I would probably do is try to find a pattern that has both and kind of compare it.
yeah.
But I know
Because
I need to jump in doing that myself. That's the only way you're gonna learn is just to do it.
yeah, there was one shawl that I saw Gina do, Knitting Turnpike, and it was called the Lilith shawl. And I went to go look for that, and it's only by chart. There's no written. And I'm like,
But yeah, I'm like that. I'm like I need to just be brave and jump in. Um,
mhm.
but what I don't like is how you got the symbols, and until you memorize the symbols, you got to keep going back and forth looking.
Yeah,
But I did find out they are universal. So once you learn it, it's standard in all patterns.
yeah. Now I can read a crochet chart. I can understand that better than I can the knitting one. But I'd still rather have a written instruction.
Let's see. We have Pixie Stitch that joined us, and I believe your name is V. Correct me if I'm wrong. How are you doing today, and what are you working on? See, Lisa the Grammy says, I need to get an umbrella for my back patio. It is just too hot to sit outside here now. I got sick from mowing in the heat this morning. I still have
Mm,
part of the backyard to finish mowing. Ooh, yeah. That heat will get to you when you're mowing.
mm-hmm.
Be safe, stay hydrated.
um, Lisa, take a wet rag and put it around your neck. And also, if you have to, wear a hat with the wet rag on your head. That might help from you getting overheated.
Yeah, that is a good idea. And let's see. Mom says, I am betting we will hit 120 in August.
Probably.
Ooh, no, 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 no.
We're supposed to get into the triple digits next week. So,
And the thing is that Crystal and Mom, they live in Texas. I'm in Louisiana, so it our weather is very similar. Granted, it gets hotter in Texas.
mm-hmm.
Roberta says, I think it was here that someone suggested if you have to stop knitting in the middle of a row to use different colored markers so you know which direction you are knitting. With knitting, it's like um it's usually the same direction. That's not something that I find. I have.
Maybe she meant like right now I'm on the purl row. If somehow this gets turned around to the knitted side, maybe she's thinking instead of working this way down and you turn it around, she's thinking working
Oh,
that little,
but
maybe.
you can tell though because the
Which
yarn
side
falls
your
a
yarn
certain
is on.
way. And like one thing I do is I'll put a stitch marker too, like to mark what's the right side.
Mm-hmm.
Because with knitting you have a right and a wrong side. Oh, we have some new people that joined in. We have Chris and Proverbs Proverbs 31 yarn. Jeannie, right? It should be Jeannie. Hopefully, I'm not getting confused with someone else. And we also have Vanitza and Anita. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? Lisa says hours going through Ravelry patterns, trying to find a good pattern that interests me. Oh, I forgot to answer that question. Yep, I have. Probably two, maybe 2.5 hours I've spent. I've never actually timed myself, but I do know there's times that I've gotten like completely lost looking at patterns,
Yeah.
especially like at night if I'm laying in bed.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I'll be playing around before going to sleep, and I mean, I'll just like stay at it. Roberta says, I usually start looking for one idea and get caught down the rabbit hole and wind up spending a couple of hours. Yep, that's how it happens. Donna says, yes. Um, okay, yeah. Pixie Stitches V. Okay, I thought her name was V. But sometimes it gets so hard remembering everyone's names.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie says it depends. Some alternate right to left and then left to right on every row. For example, all odd rows go right to left, and all even rows go left to right. I'm so used to whenever I do charts like graphs, I'm usually doing color work on beanies in the round where it's left to right, where it would this short would alternate if you're knitting a flat piece.
See, and it would help if they would say this chart goes from left to right or right to left, and some of them don't do that. They just assume you know.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Chris says, I think the official title is Veronica, Fairy Goddess of the North. I like that. Ooh, Roberta says she's at 105 today. See, it's 92 degrees right here, but if you add in that humidity, it feels hotter.
Mm-hmm. I
I don't
think
know
it
what.
was 98 here, and that was in the shade. So I'm pretty sure it's about 100. And I have no idea what it is with the humidity.
Thank you, Chris. You know me and my green screen backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa says I did have a cool towel, but it got hot fast here in Kansas. It is
Yeah.
96 now. Yep. I dread summer. I dread summer.
Mm-hmm.
Benita says you got good weather where I live. It's 49. It's cool and raining in Borton, Vermont. See, like this time of year, I can't even picture 49-degree weather. V's working on 3 projects: knit sweater, diamond painting, and cross stitch. Awesome. And I jumped again. Oh, we have Mel that joined us. Hi, Mel. How are you? And what are you working on? And Donna has to go. I hope you have a good day, Donna. Chris says he needs to try to learn knitting again. He hopes he gets time this year. And let's see. V says, I just bought a fairy-ish tapestry thing to hang on the wall. Gonna use it as a background for videos. Ooh, awesome. Roberta says, I'll take 49 degrees. I can always add a sweater.
Yeah.
So my next question is, have you stayed up all night to crochet or knit?
Maybe I usually stop crocheting about midnight or knitting about midnight, and then I go and watch TV for an hour or two. So I go to bed about 2 a.m. But my deadline is usually midnight. But I have stayed up, like if I had to finish something and I was almost done, I would stay up until I got done, whatever time that might have been. But not normally do I stay up all night.
Yeah, like I've never stayed up all night, but I will stay up later if I'm like close to finishing a project.
Hmm.
I've done that. But I find, and especially in knitting, if I'm getting tired, I'm gonna start messing up.
Yeah.
That's usually if I try crocheting and knitting when I'm too tired, I start making mistakes. And with crochet, it's not as bad because crochet is a lot easier to tear out and fix your boo boos. But
Yeah.
knitting, and speaking of which, I didn't tell y'all this, but on the Harumi shawl here, okay, y'all know how I had to rip out the 8 rows?
Hmm.
Well, I got to the same part again, and it started, the count was off the same way. Well, luckily, I was using my lifeline every other row, so I only had to tear out 2 rows. And then I found out why I kept messing up because I had wrote down in my notebook, like, see, I like to do like this, where I kind of write it out, and I kind of spread it out where it's not bunched up.
Hmm.
So, and I proofread it after I wrote it down, and even when I messed up before, I was like, checking to make sure I didn't write it wrong. Never noticed my boo boo. Well, after I messed up the second time, the next morning it kind of stuck out like a sore thumb, where I noticed I had wrote down knit two instead of knit two together, and that's why I had like 3 extra stitches because I had to repeat that like 3 times.
Mm.
But I finally got that shawl finished, the never-ending shawl. That's what it felt like. Let's see, we have Amy and Zola that joined us. How are y'all and what are y'all working on? Roberta says yes if I'm on a deadline or involved emotionally in the project. And Zola says I'm having internet problems. Hopefully it will be resolved Thursday when they provide is scheduled to come. Okay, I guess whenever her provider is scheduled to come. Sorry if I
Mm.
don't come in often. I'm trying. It's all good, Zola. And Amy says she's drinking Dr. Pepper and crocheting washcloths for Secret Santa gift exchange in July. Ooh, sweet. Uh-oh. Anita's been up to mischief. What what have you been doing, Anita? Inquiring minds and Crystal want to know. Anita says she stayed up all night. See, even Roberta wants to know too, Anita. We also have Angela that joined us. How are you today, Angela? And she's putting her crochet top together and drinking water. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome sauce. Okay, my next question is, have you ever gotten bored with a project? So how
For sure. That Tunisian blanket, I've been working on it for probably almost 3 years. I think the end of this year will be around 3 years. And I still got a cake and a half left to do. But
Yeah,
given it's Tunisian crochet, the same row, 200 stitches long, yes, it gets a little boring.
and I'm curious too. I want details of y'all projects that y'all gotten bored with. For me, um the peppermint blanket that's still in timeout.
Yeah.
And also kind of the that big blanket I'm designing too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, blankets I get more bored with.
Hmm.
But I find especially that peppermint blanket. It might take me a few years, maybe 5 years to get it finished. Let's see, where am I? Oh, Lisa says she didn't sleep last night. Did you stay up crocheting? V says I've definitely stayed up all night long crocheting. She said many, many times. Oh, Anita, you're starting a channel? If you are starting one, let me know. I'll add you to my shout outs.
On my live yesterday, she was talking about she's going to dress her and I think her sister are going to dress up like the Beverly Hillbillies and go to her dad's and show up like that with she's going to be in a rocking chair. She said she thinks that's going to be her first video.
Ooh, sweet. But yeah, if you're starting a channel, let me know. I'll shout you out. Let's see. Amy says she gets bored with a simple half double crochet blanket, same stitch over and over.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's another thing. It can get boring, the same stitch. But sometimes it is nice because when you don't want to have to think about a pattern, sometimes it's nice just to be able to keep doing the same stitch.
Yeah, mindless knitting or crocheting when it's just the same.
And Sue says she was thinking of doing the peppermint blanket. It's a gorgeous blanket, but it feels like you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have Naomi that joined us. Hi, Naomi. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? Oh, before I forget to mention this, the Southern Crocheters, we've rescheduled our live for this Wednesday coming up. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Me and Barbara with Crochet Therapy, and we're still going to be talking about yarn, and I'll be showing like all the pictures from the gnome pictures, which including my own pictures. There's going to be 50 pictures in that slideshow.
Wow.
But but yeah, so hopefully the video won't be too long during the live, because our lives we do 45 minutes, and we kind of have a lot to cover. So, oh, and then the finished projects video, I plan to have that come out tomorrow. I know I'm late. There's 90 pictures on that. I was working on
90?
90.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's awesome.
I was working on the pictures earlier today, and Brenda Young, I think she had like it was either 20 or 22 pictures. She always makes a bunch of stuff, and like she's one I love seeing the pictures of what she makes. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love seeing everybody's, but she always has cute makes. But yeah, I was counting. I'm like, oh my, 90 pictures. I thought whenever I had 70 something that was a lot. And some of them too, like some of them have like multiple pictures of the same project.
Yeah.
With different angles and all. But yeah, 90 pictures. Those videos are gonna start taking me more and more time to get done now. I wonder when I'll get over 100 pictures on one. It's coming. Oh, and also the pet video too. That's gonna be. It's supposed to be the 22nd. But that's also the day I go live with me and Barbara do our live. So we'll see what happens. But so far, I don't have a lot of pictures, so it shouldn't be that time consuming to get that one done. But yeah, send me y'all pet pictures. And then Monday on my live, I'm gonna have Cindy Lou Who with Pups and Crochet and Lisa with Coping with Yarn. So y'all know it's gonna get crazy. And hey, Krystal, if you're around, we may pop you up on the panel.
Yeah.
And Stephanie too, if she comes around, might kind of be a mini yarnaholics. Oh, speaking of that, the yarnaholics is going to be not tomorrow Sunday, but the following Sunday, the 26th, I believe.
Yes, the day after my birthday.
Yeah, at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's coming up too. Let's see. Oh, Dee's here. Hi, Dee. How are you today? And what are you working on?
Speaking of Dee goes live with me this Tuesday at 12 noon Central Time. It's our monthly live, so I hope y'all can join us.
Yeah, be there or be square. Or you could be round. Or rectangular or triangle. Let's see, Roberta says, I didn't get bored with the project, but had a multiple order and she wanted everything in gray. I thought I'd never want to see gray again.
Yeah.
Lisa says, if I get bored with a blanket, I just do something quick like a scarf. Oh, Anita says, frustrated but never bored. Yep, we did it. Amy says, definitely hours on Pinterest looking for patterns. It is its own rabbit hole. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Naomi says, I'm in Kansas trying to create a bag. And my chat jumped on me. Amy
I think
says,
it was due to my thought.
Amy says, I am that way with mosaics. I am too scared just to use charts. I like to have both. And really, that's what I think me and you both need to do, Krystal. Find a pattern that has both.
Yeah.
That way we know for sure that we're reading the graph right.
Yeah. I thought about, there's one shawl, a knit shawl called the peacock one that you showed on the last month's live. I looked at that one, I think last week. It's only a chart, and I'm sitting here. I wonder if I can read it good enough to write it out. So that is an option. I mean, I could write it.
I thought it said it had written instructions and a chart.
Well, for the repeats, it has a chart, but it was mostly because I downloaded it. And
oh, you bought the pattern?
It was free, I thought. That one was free.
That's weird. Unless I read it wrong, but
I don't remember. But I know I saw it had partial written instructions and a chart, or it said chart only, no written instructions. I can't remember, but I don't remember which one I downloaded. It was one of the ones that you shown, and it was only a chart. And I'm like, well, that one's out.
That may be a different one. Maybe I had shared another peacock shawl. But that one that I had shown on my last live, see, I want to do that one soon.
Mm-hmm.
Probably after I finish the shawl that I'm currently working on, I'll probably do that one. That one's gonna, but that's one that I think is gonna be kind of challenging, but it will be worth it. And I hope it has written. If not, I'll be learning.
I did find a pattern for my next one I'm going to do, and it was called, where is it? Shawl of Solitaire, and the pattern is by Pattern Duchess. Very, very pretty.
Ooh. Me love lace work. Like I'm gonna try to pull up that pattern real quick. The one that I want to make. I showed it on my last live, but some of y'all may not have seen it. And this is not a free paddle. But look at how gorgeous.
Oh, I seen that one.
I so want to make this one. I think it's
That
just
is pretty.
beautiful. So it must have been a different one then.
Yeah. It had like the little round things, but different. Kind of looked like the Expression Fiber Arts shawl I did with the leaves, and it kind of went out and in on the bottom. That's the one that you showed. It's kind of like the same thing all the way throughout, but it's like an hourglass shape all the way down.
Yeah, I've shared so many patterns that I've found that I don't remember what I've shared, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, I hope I haven't shared these before in a live. Y'all might occasionally get a repeat. Let's see, we have Kim that joined us, and also Brenda. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? Yeah, Brenda, we were talking about your beautiful boots earlier. Oh, Roberta, you can send pictures. I love getting pictures for the videos. I'm a picture person. I think I got that from my brother, but my brother likes taking pictures of nature.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sue says I have 3 blankets on my hook. It's taking a while to finish, but I finished my mom's shawl and blanket already. Ooh, awesome. And let's see. Dee's working on a beach cover up for her first tutorial. Ooh, nice. Oh, Chris says, be there or be oblong. Let's see. Roberta says, Crochet Crowd has tutorials on reading shorts.
Okay. Crochet Crowd. Okay. I'll try to remember that. I'll have to go look it up.
Oh, Naomi, people drop their links, those that have channels, and people are just like, are throwing yarn in different people's windows, and when they say that, they mean they're subscribing to their channel. And anybody that wants their channel link dropped, all they have to do is type drop in the chat. Kivia says, I was thinking about making my own crochet hooks and knitting needles for herself, but she don't know how. Now, Krystal is good at making the polymer clay crochet hooks. She makes some beautiful ones.
All I do is I watch tons of videos on how to roll out polymer clay and how to blend them and everything. I just watched tons of tutorials and then just jumped in and started doing it. So all you got to do is just play around with it, and you'll eventually get, if you watch enough videos on it, you'll be able to understand. It's fairly easy.
Yeah, I played around with it a little bit, but I'm not as good at it as Krystal is.
You need to practice more, Connie.
I know. Mom wants to know what we do with all our shawls. Um, Usually fold them up, have them in drawers, and wear them, accessorize, look cute.
Most of them go in my closet, or I give them away as gifts.
Yes, and like I said, some give away some, and I'm addicted to shawls.
My favorite thing too, crochet or knitting.
Okay, Naomi, moderators basically they tend to drop links like whenever they're asked to. Um, Now I have my Nightbot set up to drop links for those that are at the live that once their links drop, so they don't have to drop as many links, but like every now and then I'll say like drop so and so's link. Um, then basically looking out for like trolls, people being inappropriate, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Kind of like keeping an eye on the chat, make sure people behave.
um, and also like greeting people or like when people leave, tell them bye, things like that. There really isn't that much to it. And I've been fortunate. I haven't had much issues with trolls. So,
Mm-hmm.
and V says, I have the cottage core blanket pattern, but because I haven't attempted mosaic before, it looks kind of intimidating to me. I know I just need to watch some beginner videos or just sit down and start. And really, that really is what you need to do. Um, and a lot of times things look more intimidating than what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And once you actually get to it, it's not as bad as you thought it would be. Because I know sometimes, like even on my alien here, let me get her again. Like the fingers. Oh.
It's invisible, everyone.
Hold on a minute. Let me turn my green screen off again. Okay, but like on her hands and stuff, like at first I'm like, oh my, it looks so complicated, and even like her feet. But the thing was that once I got to it and took it step by step, it wasn't it wasn't really hard
Yeah.
once you get to it. But when you look at it at first, you're like, oh my, what am I getting myself into?
Mm-hmm.
Brenda says she can't stay long. And I lost my place. Okay. Her two grandsons' graduation party in an hour.
Oh,
Ooh, congratulations to them. And let's see. Kim says, I fold my shawls and ponchos and put in clear plastic bag so that I can see them. And let's see. Okay, Kivia wants to be a moderator. Give me just a minute to pull up. If y'all hear a noise, I do apologize. I'm going to try to pause it before it does it. Okay. Where's Kivia? Okay, there she is. Okay. Okay, Kivia, I just added you. Okay. So Naomi, you want to be a moderator too? Like I said, it's basically all you have to do. Um, like I said, if you see a troll, you block them or you time them out type thing. You got the dots on the side that of the comment, and they'll give you the option to do that. Now, if it's somebody that they may talk about something that I don't allow in to be talked about. Usually I'll give a warning. So if you see something like that, just like, maybe send me an email and say I sent you an email and I'll make the call on whether or not to block them. Because every now and then, sometimes people slip up and they don't mean to, or they don't realize something's not allowed.
Yeah.
And I like to give people chances. I don't like to just be like, you're blocked. But yeah, and dropping links. The easiest thing to do is just copy paste the name of the person, then search for it on YouTube. And oh, you have another way, Krystal?
Yeah, when you're in a chat. Now, I don't know if this works on a phone, but on a laptop or like on a web browser, if you click on the three dots, it has go to channel. If you're a moderator, it'll say go to channel, and then you can copy their link that way too.
So I'm going to go ahead and add you to Naomi. And really, like, usually there's other moderators too. So, if you have questions on how to do something, just ask. And let's see. I love this. Roberta says moderators or the internet hall monitors.
Yep.
Let's see. Kim says, I'm pricing and tagging my crochet items today to get ready for a craft fair in 2 weeks. This is a job. So from now on, I'm going to tag and price right after I finish the project.
Good idea.
Oh, thank you, Zola. And let's see. And that's exactly, Roberta is exactly right. You never know what you can do until you do it.
True.
And
I was very intimidated. Oh, sorry.
Exactly. Like some things they look more intimidating than what they really are. And Amy says so many people are doing the cottage core, so a lot of people can help. Yep. And that's the other thing too. Just ask questions. People in the Yarny community on YouTube will help you. People in Facebook groups will help you too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, if you have a pattern that the designer has their email on it, you can always try contacting the company you got it from, like Knit Picks. You can contact them and they refer you to the actual pattern designer. Or they may have their email on the pattern and you email them with your questions.
Naomi, a troll is basically, they tend to say odd things. Like we might be talking about shawls and they'll start talking about bugs or feet or something. Sometimes they'll have like inappropriate things in their name. Or saying inappropriate things. They kind of stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, they may just keep talking about like some odd subject. And let's see, we have Nancy Carrot Boo here. How are you doing? And what are you currently working on? Yep. Like Roberta says, they're obnoxious and they cause trouble. Yeah, they'll put spam, stuff like that in the chat. Okay, so my next question for y'all is, this was going to be a non-Yarny question. If your state or town was represented by food, what food would yours represent? So what would Texas represent food-wise?
barbecue, I guess.
See me, I was thinking tacos for Texas.
Or Tex-Mex, yeah.
um for me, for Louisiana, I would go with gumbo
Yeah.
or jambalaya. Community coffee.
When I think Louisiana, I think etouffee.
Let's see, Stephanie says pizza. She's from New York. Yeah, I figured I would do a fun question. I need to share my free patterns too before I forget. Don't let me forget, Crystal.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll be doing a pattern giveaway at the end of today's live too. Since it's Saturday Fun Day. Let's see. Lisa says Kansas corn, but my town has a cheese factory here.
Huh.
Kim says Buckeye chocolate covered peanut butter represents the Buckeye state of Ohio. Amy says Chicago dog or Chicago style pizza, or for Southern pork, smoked ribs and pork. Illinois is a good mix. Roberta says Carolina barbecue. And Chris says probably avocado for California. Another thing, Louisiana, crawfish, crabs, shrimp. Now we're making everyone hungry. V says, "Yum! Now I want pizza and ribs." Yeah, I haven't had gumbo in a while. Gumbo good. Yeah, Amy says I was going to say gumbo for Louisiana. Naomi says I'm originally from Hawaii, so it would be Kalua pig. I hope I said that right.
Hmm.
And Gloria says Italian beef in Chicago and cheese and caramel corn. Also, awesome. Chris says maybe boudin for Louisiana also. Yep. Louisiana's known for a lot of food stuff.
Mhm.
A2K, um, crawfish bisque. Ooh, biscuit's good. I haven't had that in a really long time. Are you getting hungry, Crystal?
Little bit. I still need my other cup of coffee first.
Yeah.
Momo made some um, really good stir fry last night. So
Angela, the Easter plaid beanie is crochet. It's done in the waistcoat stitch, which is another name for the waistcoat stitch is the knit stitch in crochet. It looks knitted, but it's crochet. And basically, instead, like when you're doing your stitch, instead of going like under the stitch like you normally do, you go through like the leg of the stitch, like the whole of the leg. Let's Everyone's talking about Louisiana food. Chris loves a good crawfish boil. Ooh yeah, and
yeah.
king cake. Roberta says king cake. Yeah, and they've gotten like more and more creative with the king cakes with what they stuff them with. And let's see. Stephanie says she's going to order pizza for dinner later. I didn't know what I wanted to eat, but now I do. So thanks. V says I'm making another batch of seafood salad, imitation crab right now. Ooh, a good seafood gumbo. Naomi says just means roasted pig. It's made in a pit with banana leaves. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So I'm going to to go ahead and share those free patterns. And y'all can continue answering the question in the chat about the food. So today I am sharing free crochet amigurumi patterns that I found on Ravelry. And the first one is Amigurumi Seal Pup by Grace and Yarn. And most of the patterns are going to be by Grace and Yarn that I'm sharing today. And she has a lot of really cute patterns. So y'all might want to check her out on Ravelry. But look how cute.
Oh, that is adorable.
And she also did it in white here.
Aw.
But yeah, 4 out of the 5 patterns I'm sharing today are by Grace and Yarn. This one is an Amigurumi llama.
Oh my goodness. That is adorable.
And here's one of them up close. And let's see, here's the other one. I think that's just too cute.
Aww.
And let's get to the next one. This one is Amigurumi Deer Fawn. And look how cute. I love the little flowers.
Aw.
I always love like touch of flowers on projects.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the side view. And here's the back view. Look at that tail. And let's see. This is an Amigurumi horse and donkey. And look at and here's the side view.
Aw.
And here's the back view. Oh, one thing I do want to point out, I try to remember to point this out because some of y'all may not know this. You see how this pattern, it'll say buy it now. That's where if you click on that to get the paid for version. But if you want the free version, you click on visit pattern website. And basically, the website you're going to have ads. If you get the paid for version, there's no ads. But I know that's something that used to confuse me, where I was like, it's like it's free. Why isn't it free? I see buy it now. But if you look next to it, it says visit the pattern website, and that's what takes you to the free pattern. Okay, and here's the last one. Oops. This is Regal the Peacock by Hook by Katie.
Oh, yes.
And
I love her patterns.
I've shared this before. I can't remember. But I know one time we were talking about like Peacock Amigurumi.
Mm-hmm. She's the same one that I did the dragon amigurumis. She's the same designer of them.
Ooh. But I love how the feathers look. I think that's so cool.
Now, when you buy her patterns, they are very detailed. She has many, many, many pictures in there. So she has the written instruction plus detailed pictures of what it's supposed to look like, what you're doing, everything. It's very, very thorough, and I think it's worth the money. I actually bought Vincent the Dragon's pattern. It was $7, but well worth it.
Yeah, and all those patterns are free patterns. They're crochet patterns. I have the links in the description box of today's live if anyone's interested in them. So get y'all crochet amigurumi on. Let's see. Let's get back to where I left off. Okay, let's see. Angela says fried chicken. Roberta had pork steak for lunch, so no dinner. And let's see. Everyone seems to be thinking the patterns are cute. Yeah, Amy, they're crochet patterns. And let's see. Okay. All right. So the next question that I have for y'all is, have you had more than 5 whips at a time?
I
So
don't think so.
I
I
know
usually try to only do one at a time, but
I think I've gotten to 5. I don't think I've gone over 5 because, like, right now, I have the 2 blankets that are on pause, and I have that shawl that I still need to finish that I was waiting for the yarn to come in. And now the yarn's come in, but I've never gotten around to finishing it. And then I have, oh, actually, I do have 6. I forgot my temperature blanket.
mm.
And, well, right now it's 5. I haven't started on a new crochet project yet, but I will be. And then the shawl that I'm working on with knitting. So, yeah, I am at 6. Oops.
Well, let me see. I might have had one knitting project sitting to the side and one crochet project, and then this blanket for 3 years. So maybe 3 at one time, but usually when I'm knitting or crocheting on something, I usually don't stop on that one project. I keep going until I finish it. I never really get bored enough to put it down. So, but I feel like if I have too many projects going on, I'm afraid I'll never finish it, or kind of like pay attention to one more than the other. And I think it's, for me, I just work on usually one and then I finish it and move on.
See, for the most part, that is how I am. I really don't like having a lot of whips at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a temperature blanket, which that's a year-long project, so that's always going to be in the background. And I usually have a crochet project and a knitting project that I do. And I have certain days of the week I crochet, certain days that I knit. But those 2 blankets are sitting there in the background, and then there's that shawl. And the only reason why that shawl was because I had to order more yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of have forgotten about it and haven't gotten around to going back to it. But I do need to do that soon before I do forget. But I'm always scared that I won't finish something.
Mm-hmm.
So I always try to make a point of finishing what I start, except for blankets. Zola says no. Roberta says my peacock was more cartoonish. It was for a 3-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a beautiful peacock that someone had shared on one of the crochet groups that I'm in on Facebook. Kim says, "Oh yes." Roberta says, "Not sure." Lisa says, "Nope. 2 is the most I have ever done at the same time." Roberta says, "I stopped counting." Kim says, "I've had as many as 20, and I do finish them all." Whoa, 20. See, that I couldn't do. I'd be like, I would be too scared that I wouldn't finish them. Sue says, "I have 4 right now." Amy says, I have mermaid scale mosaic blanket, granny square, mixed blanket, and the washcloths I am working on. So I am just the three and working on all of them. Roberta says, I don't know. I'm working on a series. The series isn't done, but the ports I started are done. Does that count as well? I don't know if there's like if it's for the same project then it's one, but if it's just like similar projects, then I would count each one as one. Chris says, I don't think I would finish if I ever had more than two.
Mm.
Angela says, one right now. Chris says, I like to stick to one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Kim says, I crochet 4 to 10 of the same project and I work them all in an let's let me get tongue tied in an assembly line, even big items such as blankets and ponchos. I've done 7 of one crochet along blankets at a time. Wow. V says I have an embarrassing amount of whips. It would take effort to count them all at this point.
Oh, wow.
Roberta says, see, I stumped you on the series with questions. Okay, I think I'll ask one more question and then we'll get to the pattern giveaway. Let's see. Have you ever crocheted or knitted with number one weighted yarn? And I already know the answer for Krystal.
Yes and yes. The very first time I crocheted with a one weight yarn was a shawl, and I said I'd never do it again because it took 3 weeks to complete that shawl. And I'm like, and it made my hands hurt, and I had to even stop in between and do something else because it made my hands cramp. But I can knit better with one weight yarn than I can crochet with it. I'd actually prefer knitting with the one weight yarn over crocheting it.
See, I've never used it in crochet, but I have in knitting. And I love doing socks with it, shawls.
Mm-hmm.
And I find like the really beautiful shawls are the ones that you use number one weighted yarn.
Yeah.
But like with crochet, I'm not really sure what I would be using number one weighted yarn for, if I would.
Mama is crocheting with a one weight yarn now, and she's making a shawl. She's been working on it for weeks.
But like I said, I haven't done crochet yet. But oh, the number one weighted yarns. Oh, there's some beautiful ones, especially the hand dyed yarns.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Let's see. Chris says he has. Angela hasn't. Stephanie says yes, I've crocheted and knit with the number one weighted yarn. V has. Roberta says yes, but not in a long time. My hands go numb with number 10 thread. Yet the first time I used number one weighted yarn on my first pair of socks, ooh, the hand cramp. Ooh, it hurt. Lisa says 2 weight is the smallest she's used so far. Naomi says I had to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she says yes. Zola says no. I own one hook, 5.5 millimeter. And let's see. Amy says I made socks, but that's it. Lamont has a crochet along he is doing, and it is his mixed weight. I might do it. Ooh, nice. Kivia says I have won some crochet hooks. Ooh, awesome.
Oh, congrats.
And V says the shawl I just finished was one weight. It did take a lot longer to finish. Yeah, they do. Because it's funny. Like the first time I did it, a shawl with number one weighted yarn, it's just like this is taking forever because I'm so I tend to use number four weighted yarn, or at least I had been, and
Mhm.
number four works up way quicker, but
Mhm.
number one
Um,
weighted is just so beautiful.
the expression fiber arts pattern, a Cliffia, I think is how you say it. My very first knitted shawl, the red and black one, took me over 2 months to do, and it was a one weight with 2.5 size needles.
See, it didn't seem like it took you that long.
Oh, it did. I counted 2 months.
See, like part of where like I take longer on projects is because I don't work on like just that project during the week.
Mhm.
I have my crochet and my knit, so it takes me longer because of that. And sometimes it's frustrating because I feel like, oh, it's been forever since I finished the project. Let's see. Cindy says, I bet it would take a long time for me for sure. Roberta says, I made flowers years ago with number one weight and sealed them into acrylic. They were tiny. Oh, awesome. Okay. So now I am going to do the pattern giveaway. Let me pull up Nightbot. I'm trying to think of a word. You got an idea, Crystal? What word should I use?
Goldfish.
Okay.
I have some goldfish sitting there, so
Um, do it one word. Goldfish, all lowercase. So start now. Goldfish is the key word, and this is worldwide since it's a pattern. Ooh, goldfish snack. Look,
pizza flavored.
that's where you got it from.
Yeah.
Naomi says, I like to make bookmarks with the number one weighted yarn.
Mm.
Roberta says, I can't do it now. My eyes and hands got old. I was about to say cold. Yeah. Give it a little more time. So, what type of coffee you drinking today, Crystal?
I think it's community that's in my container. But I'm not sure. I got some Maxwell House, some Folgers, and community coffee. So, and something called starts with an S. I can't remember, in a blue container. That
Yeah,
was pretty good.
I had my Starbucks with a cinnamon coffee creamer. I'm hooked on cinnamon coffee creamer now. Okay, we're gonna give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and stop. Okay. So let's see who the lucky winner is going to be. Good luck, everyone. And the winner is Angela Wright. Congratulations. Oh, I forgot to show it. Oops. Let me share screen real quick. Sorry about that. Congratulations, Angela. You are the lucky winner. So what I need you to do, Angela, is send me an email at justanotherstitch2020 at gmail.com. And my email is in the description box of all my videos and on my about page. And it's at the bottom of the screen right here. So send me an email so you can claim your prize. So, Krystal, is there anything, any announcements or anything, or that you want to say before we wrap things up?
Just that I have my birthday bash next Saturday at 5:30 Central Time, and there will be. I've had a few giveaways this month, and I will draw the winners for the videos on the live at the beginning. Then I have a couple of presents I'm going to be opening up on the live, and then after that, there will be live giveaway. So several people have donated. I think there's about 13 or 14 prizes, somewhere around there, 10 to 14, I think. So
I did. I did donate a couple of patterns. Okay.
yes.
And happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have anything else you want to mention, or?
Yeah, Dee's Creative Hands Crochet goes live with me on Tuesday, and Sabrina on the Tuesday after that, the last Tuesday of the month, Sabrina Melodue. So.
And I want to thank you, Krystal, for coming live with me. I enjoyed having you.
You're welcome, and thank you.
And I also want to thank everyone for coming out today and watching today's live. I enjoyed chatting and interacting with y'all. And I hope y'all had an awesome sauce time. Make it awesome sauce. And I also want to thank those that will be watching the replay. And please leave a comment if you do watch the. I'm getting tongue tied. If you do watch the replay, feel free to answer any of the questions that I asked on today's live. Um, and also make sure y'all go alien invade Rainy D. She's waiting for y'all. So I hope y'all are having a fabulous Yorny day. Be the light and fly.